don't see any changes. The only notation I had was the increase in part-time. We okayed that.
And she hasn't been using all of it. I think she just wants to make sure she's covered.
Okay, recorder.
Same notation on part-time.
She's losing Judy Hass, who was the retired recorder from Noble County that was well-trained, well-versed, could walk in and do the job every day and knew what to ask. And Judy's done. She had retired from Noble County, but was working here part-time. Now she's just done.
Just totally
She's
retired.
done. So I think April's pretty sure she's not going to find a retired recorder laying around somewhere that just wants to come in and walk into the job. So there's going to be, she even stated that day, some cross-training or some extra. It's not going to be a walk-in person. They can't bring someone in and just leave them alone like they used to do Judy. So it might require extra help. But that's your guys'. Can we leave it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Surveyor.
I crossed out the miscellaneous supplies.
I did too.
Yeah, me too. So we must have had a discussion about that.
Where
On
was that
what?
at?
You're not gonna give him the backhoe, Jim?
No.
Oh,
It
we
was the
must be the
surveyor's
surveyor.
budget, line item 30008.
I had it crossed out too, but I don't have any notes beside
Right,
it.
so we must have,
Yeah, I
maybe
got
that was
crossed
an
out.
error and he didn't mean to.
Something like
I'm
that, yeah.
surprised you didn't bring it up.
It shows an increase in travel and mileage.
Which one's that, John? On his?
Yeah, 33,003. Shows 40% increase in travel and mileage.
No.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I think that should go back down.
He said that he'd used a lot of it up because of the increase to gas in all the rains this spring.
And he
That's all he
probably
stated.
has.
That's all he stated when he said it.
So you're moving that back down to 5?
I think that's
I think it ought to be 6, but do whatever you want.
He used 5,087 the year before. If you look at the history on the
Well, you
actual
can-
expended on
No,
2012.
I can't.
I'm okay with 6.
I'll move it, put us to 6.
Got it.
No,
I'll
take a
second.
vote. I just,
I don't think
I'll
we have to
second.
vote on that. We just,
Moving second, all in favor, say aye.
aye.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Corner.
I guess I think they're the only thing we really got is the salaries based on what we do.
Yeah.
I think we put all discuss it.
Depends on the salaries ordinance.
If you combine the old salary with the rent that we used to pay on that, for the old coroner,
Yeah.
it comes to 10,227, and he's asking 10,300, which,
I don't think we, the rent even got a factor in it. I mean,
well, I'm just saying that that's his reasoning.
I
is
know, but
that-
I don't think that even should be even considered because we didn't have a place for them for the other,
And now we do.
and we do, and we even told Scott when he come in here with 3,000 or whatever he had, we said, hey, we got room here, we'll fix you an office, and that was the end of the discussion real quick.
Yeah. I think his increase should be whatever the salary ordinance that we produce.
I agree.
Or whatever the office stands on its own. Okay, prosecutor.
Have anything in there?
I got nothing highlighted.
I don't either. I think it was pretty much
Yeah,
salaries.
he was
and
here
that's it.
pretty short, yeah.
Okay, we got, read them.
Assessor.
Well, I think it's time we take a good look at that one. I don't like to add full-time help, but I think it's time that she gets a little more help up there.
I think we're probably missing more than a full-time one's gonna help. What
Yeah.
better cost?
And it's out of reassessment. The reassessment fund, if you looked on your fund sheet, sitting well over $1 million. So I don't think she's got all the wages for the person she asked coming out of the 1186 and 11. Well, next year it's going to be 1188 fund. So it can fund a full-time person. Where she
Well,
wants
you
it.
just didn't hear complaining about having that $10,000 part-time in the reassessment fund, saying that she was afraid it was getting too depleted.
No,
Sure.
that wasn't what she was talking about. She doesn't feel that the part-time person that she was working for was doing all reassessment work, was the reason she stated that. She doesn't like half of her salary coming out of reassessment, because she doesn't feel that she does 50% of reassessment on her time. She feels she does assessor's office job on the assessing, not
We didn't
reassessment.
decide to pay that out of that, that was just expedient. It was a place to get the money without on the budget.
That's what she was complaining about. She didn't feel that the money was being used for reassessment purposes.
Which it didn't, but we never intended it for two service place.
In
I get
balance right now,
Where I've worked,
almost 342.
part-time help up to 5,000. Is that, I can't remember, was that without another full-time person?
She said it could go back down to 2 if we gave her a full-time
Full-time.
person.
Yeah, that's what I showed.
right, yeah, that's correct.
I make a motion that we let her hire a full-time person in the assessor's office.
I'll second that motion.
Move second, any other discussion,
Do you want it paid out of the reassessment fund? Like,
wherever she's got the money.
that's where she has it, unless you want to increase that
No.
position in the county general.
No.
Reassessment,
Okay.
Yeah, they can be paid out reassessment.
do it.
There's
Yeah.
lots of money in reassessment.
Well,
Yeah.
clean it out of that.
All right,
Looked to me like that reassessment has got 342,000 balance at this
How
point.
much?
all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay.
Okay. No, add those
And that-
together, 1187 and 1188. It's almost a million something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that moves that part-time back to 2.
And she said she didn't
Yeah.
need any part-time, the 10,000 out of reassessment if you gave her a full-time person.
And I remember when that was 3 full-time deep.
Yeah,
I remember when there was 4
Yeah.
in my office, but that's okay.
I remember when there was even that in your office.
It's okay.
Plan- Planning and building,
any marks there?
They got
I
an
don't have
increase.
any.
No, they don't either.
Okay, veteran services,
I just have to fix because I entered it wrong.
what,
Better,
GIS?
Yeah, I have a
oh,
GIS.
excuse me,
What did you have, GIS?
oh,
GIS.
GIS.
I'd mark something there where we made
I
equipment.
made the error for the, between the
that's what
travel
that
and
was.
mileage
Oh,
of the
yeah.
equipment. It was my error, not his.
All backwards.
So now travel mileage is 1,000 and equipment program maintenance
Was
is
4.
4,000.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, all right.
entering error on my part. I
Now
got that.
veteran services.
How much does Dick get paid an hour, do you know?
I showed that in his part-time, 10,000 of that was dedicated to Mr. Ecker, and 2,600 was dedicated to Cindy. So we gotta remember that they have that
That's right.
I got 12, 10, and 2.
I got 12, 10, and 26.
gambling.
26,
No, I-
right.
But I broke it out and I
That's what I
said,
had written
because
too.
I didn't want you to think Dick was getting all that money. He's not. It's two part-timers.
And I wrote on there that he has to work 1,000 hours to get his accreditation.
Yeah.
He has to work
Yeah.
1,000 hours.
Yeah.
But I think if we have to cover the office with those 2 people, that's plenty. I mean, he'll have plenty.
And Gene had asked for more of an increase than just the 3%. I think he should just get the 3%.
I agree.
Or whatever the salary.
whatever.
Right, right.
Whatever it is.
Whatever salary ordinance we. figure
Whatever,
out.
yeah, whatever is decided for
I agree
increases.
with that.
I highlighted some of the increases in his travel and mileage, equipment supplies and training. And it was increased considerably.
Think-
Was that
causes
due to
training?
the
I think
mandates?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read that statute, and I was reading it when he was standing here, they're gonna get reimbursed $1,200 for computer equipment, and they're gonna get, reimbursed $500 from the grant that the state's put in. The commission shall transfer $1,080 from the Veterans Affairs Trust Fund established by this new code that we have to go by to pay for those 2 things.
But it's just like the EMA issue that just came up.
Yeah, they
We're
just-
gonna get a check, it's gonna go to county general, and he needs to have us in his budget.
Right. So it's just gonna be reimbursed.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them now instead of 1. So you got double allowed, double.
Building.
Okay, is
Sure,
everybody
guys,
happy with that now?
Yeah.
3% only for, Jean's thing and no changes to any of the other.
Right,
Okay. Building and maintenance.
building and maintenance.
And this is where I think if a maintenance person's added, this is where it needs to be added.
Yes.
That's
Well,
correct.
I'd like to say this, I think if one needs to be tabled, it needs to be right here. I'd like to have the commissioner's input on this
Do more
before we
homework.
go any farther with, because I think there's some problems in that area with the personnel that's running it and some other
But
personnel
I
working
think-
in it.
I think that the overall picture, you take the bodies, the names out, and the idea they're in favor of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, Jen, what's the repercussion of not adding this line item? Maybe they don't fill it, but what happens if we don't add it now? We have to change the salary ordinance to add and go through that whole
Just
process, which isn't a
It's
major
not a
deal.
huge, but if we don't do it now, I mean, we're to the point, cause we have to advertise the 21st and 28th to stay on schedule. But it'll just be advertised without that thing, and we'll have to go back when the year starts. If in between now, when we advertise in the beginning of the year, if that new person's added onto the salary ordinance, we'll just have to pretend it's just like a brand new hire that you wanna
Well,
add
I
on.
think we need to add that now for budget, but it won't start till January 1, so I mean, the commissioners have basically several months here to determine if they're
How
gonna
they're
fill
gonna
that, what they're
implement
gonna do. But
Right.
I think it should be
So
added
we're
in
gonna
the budget. if
establish
we're
the
gonna
position, but
consider it.
don't fill it.
Right.
Because I think Kim's right.
Well, we're not gonna
I
fill
don't
it
have a
anyway.
problem with it. The problem I can see with it is
Sure.
the one that's in charge now seems to be doing less work, and he's relying on the other two, and the other two, other than the one, don't have that experience, so there is some problems there, and now we're gonna add another person and create another little problem. I think that needs to be discussed, because they handle that.
Right, that's their job.
Before we throw another guy into that mix, I
Well,
think we
just
need to
'cause
have
we're
their input
budgeting
in.
for it,
Well, I think if
doesn't mean we got
add
the
for the
guy.
budget though, I mean, then they don't have to fill that, but I think it should probably, I think it should be added now.
Because you
Establish
are
the
talking
position,
about
but
doing the
it's
jail
up to
and
them to fill it.
correction.
Yeah, we don't have
Wherever
anything
they
with
need,
that.
wherever
Yeah, we
needed.
don't-
And we could even send them out to Etna try, you know what I mean?
It's our building.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
motion,
but
Jim,
my-
to add one now.
Well, yeah, if that's what you need, I guess I would move that we would put that assistant maintenance number 3 in the budget, but the commissioner would determine whether or not it's filled,
Yeah.
and in what manner, or by who, or what, or whatever. I mean, they can juggle that personnel over
So
there
the
any way they want to do
assistant
it.
maintenance number 3 would cover the buildings not currently being covered, serviced.
Yeah, but the commissioners, I think that we should, is it time for, was there a second?
Well, let me,
Yeah, I
we'd
said-
take out part-time if we put that, wasn't we? What we're gonna do with part-time?
Yeah.
I don't know if you take it all out or not, but you take a bunch of it out.
Well, because remember, they have part-time people who do a lot already, like in the buildings and they,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'd
That's
take it out.
Dump
Yeah,
the
we
trash.
can't- we
I
can't
mean,
take that out.
I just know some of the part-time people and I know what their jobs are and I'm thinking
'Cause
that
you're-
might.
You're getting two buildings that definitely need a lot of work done to them, especially the jail.
It also has to be somebody who's more qualified than your average,
Dumping the trash
probably,
person.
right. This has
I
to
mean, I'm
be,
not being mean about that, but.
this has to be a Denny Finker, this has to be somebody who
Some
understands
mechanical
mechanics.
I
background.
think there's lots.
You kinda got mixed up, you got people in the
that
maintenance hall,
part-time
very much that
could
clean
be-
floors, you got some that are plumbers,
Just like
that's what we're talking about.
But that
I'm
part-
sorry, who made the second on the motion for additional?
Bill did.
I did.
Sean probably.
Pam, this is where you'd become highly involved in writing a job description, making sure that, you know, who you
Right.
recruit.
All in favor of this motion,
Mhm.
raise your right hand. Okay,
And this is, I'm making notes, but this is to be determined and filled by the commissioner.
that's correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to check on that. And I could probably tell you, but I'd rather you check on it. But I think in a public building, that person that's doing the plumbing better have a license. And then if you do get that, you're gonna find out that you're not gonna be able to pay him $15 an hour.
That's right.
I can tell you that.
And
You'll
you
be
know what,
looking
that's
at-
not a bad thing. I mean, that way they do plumbing for all the buildings.
Maybe we have someone certified electrical and someone certified plumbing.
Yeah, you got plumbing
I mean,
And they
it's
cover
time to be
what's-
organized in who we hire, and that's why we have an HR person, you know?
Well, I don't know what the guy who's the 44,568.
Okay, do we need anything else on this maintenance
I don't
thing?
think so.
Oh,
We didn't give her amount, did we?
no, you didn't. I got Bayman making the first
I don't know
over
how
there,
you're
the
gonna-
second, and to be determined.
I think it's not probably gonna be as much as, Mark, but I think it's gonna be higher than, assistant maintenance 1 and 2. So
Well,
maybe we just put in 40 for now?
Well, the assistant maintenance is 44,586.
Yeah, the assistant's already at 44.
Oh, is it?
He took Mark's salary when Mark bumped up to Denny's.
Is Mark a licensed plumber?
Who took that salary?
That's an issue too, see, you
Was it
can't
Denny?
go off of those figures.
No, Denny's
I'd
gone.
say you're gonna
This
be
is
in
the
that
new
range.
guy.
Hey, that would've been knocked down.
$24 an hour,
I'm thinking 45 to 50.
Louis at
plus that's with
32.
benefits.
That's
and-
what benefits, yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't make any difference, just put it at some number, because we're gonna have to change it when we get somebody anyway.
Yeah.
So just put a
True.
number in there.
Just put,
Well, I'll put it at the 44,586.
all right, that'd be wonderful.
Okay. Museum.
Okay, museum.
Museum,